Hi, good people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are at 50 subscribers. Hooray! Thank you so much. And those of you who are watching and you haven't subscribed, please, subscribe and support if you like my content. Today I want to talk about kujichukia, self-hatred. Because I hated myself for 26 years. I didn't like the fact that I just exist. And it started way kitambo. First of all, I was born when my parents were quite old. Because by the time they were giving me birth to me, my sister had finished Form 4. My older sister had finished Form 4. So if it were the school meetings, she's the one who would come. And the second thing, I grew up I went to a primary school that is right opposite our home. So by default, everybody knew my parents, everybody knew where I came from. But now, even neighbors used to confuse me with being my sister's kid, because most of the times I'm with her. And so up to high school, she's the one who used to come for meetings. So I would tell people this is my mom because I didn't want to identify with my old parents. Secondly, I don't like my general appearance. I'm kanonos. So people used to call me kapumpum. I just didn't like that. I didn't like being called a kapumpum. And also, when you look at me and compare me to my other age mates, although I'm short, if you're a kapumpum, then people are likely to think you are old. I didn't like that fact. Then number 2, weight ni kitu nimestruggle nayo. By the way, up to now I still try to lose it and it doesn't go easily. Although pia najua shida ni chapati. So another reason for me hating on myself is the fact that kwetu kunaitwa Dondori. If you've heard about Dondori, people from Dondori are said to knock doors at the hotel and also take porridge using gumboots. So every time you tell someone you come from Dondori, they are like, oh, kwenye mnakunywanga uji na gumboots na mnapiga hodi kwa hoteli. I just dislike that fact. So all the time, up to now, I find it hard telling people I come from Dondori. Napendanga tu nikikwambia nimetoka Nakuru County, shikilia tu hapo. Don't bother asking me other questions. Number 3 reason why I hated myself. I didn't like some parts of me. I didn't like my big forehead. I didn't like my forehead. So I couldn't shave my hair at any given point to just try and cover up my big forehead. I also didn't like my big nails. You can see they are big. Mnaweza ona ni kubwa. Sikuwa nazipenda. So nilikuwa nazikata ndo zikae short, mnakata karibu nizifikishe hapo katikati so that they don't look so big. I also didn't like the fact that zilitokea mapema and they are big, and you know if they are big, the society equates that to immorality. So the fact that I have a big bust by the time I'm class 6, class 7, but up to now it's something that kidogo inaninyimanga confidence kama sasa mnaona imejaa kwa screen. But regardless, it has its own benefits. As we grow, we realize kumbe it wasn't all that bad. So there are many other reasons. Even as I continued growing, well, at 23 I gave birth outside wedlock. That's another thing that made me completely hate myself. I never thought such kind of things would happen to people like me, but shit happens, and then you realize, ooh, I'm a parent. I've just graduated and I'm now a parent. And you think nothing good will ever amount from you. Although I didn't like myself, people used to like me because I'm a performer. Academically, my parents used to boast that mtoto wetu ndio namba moja. Then in school, I'm the one to teach people mathematics. I'm the one to act in drama. So to some extent, that one used to give me some kind of a comfort. But deep down, I didn't like myself. So after going through high school campus, I finally get a job, and my finance, I don't know where money used to go. Okay, I know where it used to go, but nikiwaambia mtani judge. So let me withhold that one. So now when COVID happened, I reached a breaking point. I became suicidal because I could not be able to take care of my child. I thought, now if COVID happens, I don't even have an extra room to isolate people who are likely to be infected in the house. My finances were so bad. I was messy. I was not doing well. I was not performing even at the workplace. At one point, I even got a warning letter. And due to COVID, retrenchment was bound to happen. And by default, I knew I was among the people to be retrenched. Not sure why I still think of the worst case scenarios in most of the situations, but ni sawa tu. So, I was really having a hard time. And I'm that person who will go cry in the toilet or in the bedroom, but I'll not let people know I'm having shit going down my heart or my head. So I chose to disconnect from social media. I chose not to talk to people. So I told this one friend of mine, I know we talk daily, but in the next 1 week, I would like to be on silent mode. I will not be talking. I'll not be picking calls. If you need me, just text. But at the work, I'll just respond to emails. I'll not pick calls. People will communicate to me on emails or via text. And she was like, oh, because what's wrong? He's one person he's so good to me. I'm not happy we are not in good terms at the moment. But anyway. So I tell him, I think things are not working out. I'm afraid of COVID. I'm not even performing well at the workplace. I'm not having a good relationship with my parents. I did something they didn't like. And I'm not even being a good mother to my son because I'm emotionally absent. I mean, everything, I'm in debt, I'm being paid, but I just spend money badly. So I really hate my life. I want to take it away. And he spoke to me, and I will not go into details of that. So at that point, I was like, well, how about I just show up? Why do I hate myself so much? Why would I want to kill myself? And so that was the breaking point. I started reading books that regards things I was going through. I was advised to be mindful, like live in the present moment. Why are you so scared of tomorrow? Or why are you still carrying burdens of things that happened yesterday? Just live in the moment, live in the now. Tomorrow will take care of itself, and yesterday is gone. That is something I'm still practicing. And if you are one of my friends, when we meet, we choose to be present. We live in that moment. We don't want distractions. Well, I didn't learn to be mindful because it's a good thing. I learned it because I was suicidal, and the only thing that would work for me is focusing on that very moment I was alive. Secondly, I chose to stop wanting people's validation. I'm the one who decides what is good for me. How do I determine my worth? Kwani if I give birth out a child rock, I become a bad person. My worth is determined by just the fact that I exist and I'm just the way I am. So anything to do with my forehead, anything to do with my breast size, or the size of my nails, it shouldn't bother me, because there can only be one Jane. So I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to have short nails. I don't have to be in good shape. I don't have to lose weight because I want people to think I'm young. I'll just exist as I am. Secondly, I decided to I learned. I'm still learning. Sasa nimefika mahali nataka but siko pale pale. Um, I I choose to separate people's opinion from the facts. When I do things because I want to. I know the intentions behind it. I'm not scared of people judging me. I'm not scared of what they'll think of me, whether I'm a bad person or I'm a good person. Penye ulinipata, unanipata hapa tukisonga. If you found me as a good person, well, unasonga nayo. Ukisikia mimi ni mbaya, tunasonga tu na hiyo rada. I've also learned to prioritize myself. Like when I'm paid, I want to buy myself something. I want to take myself out for a date. I used to treat myself like shit. I didn't like myself at all. And in return, people could treat me badly. I would give more than I would give from an empty cup. Then at the end of the day, I will hate myself. I'll feel so bad about myself. But now I prioritize myself. I pay my debts first. I pay my bills first before I think of donating. Before I think of doing anything for anyone else. Like, for instance, next week is my birthday. I know the gift I'm buying for myself. I've planned a party for myself because people will not love me if mimi mwenyewe najichukia. Sasa hata nani atanipenda? Even those around me will just treat me like shit because I don't like myself. So that is something I've really learned. I put myself first. Before I do something, I look at what benefit am I gaining out of this? If I come to see you, is it benefiting me or I'm just showing up because I have to? I've also learned to do good things for myself, like playing darts, playing chess, cycling. That is one thing that gives me so much. I feel so good when I do such kind of things. So I want to do them often so that at least I forget that part of me that hates myself. And also, I work out because I want to feel good and to be fit, not to lose weight. Weight nayo ilikataa kuisha. I'm naturally, hizi ni genes. There's nothing I can do about it. Na pia poor eating habits. That weight imekuanga from the word go. So it's not something I really want to undo. Nasonga tu nayo hivyo hivyo. I live a day at a time. If today my mind is okay, if I feel happy, I appreciate it. Kesho nikiamka nipate mdosi aliamua kunitumia email mbaya ama nilichoma mahali, I own it. I no longer want to be a victim of circumstances. Nasonga tu na situations. If it's good, I accept. If it is bad, I still accept it. Because self-love ni muhimu. Imagine you hate yourself. Then people out here look up to you and they are like, wow. Wow. Na wewe uko zile za I have always wished I didn't exist. If I didn't perform well in school, then my worth is questioned. If I also didn't something else. I also didn't trust myself. I couldn't make my decisions. If I'm making a major decision, I have to consult maybe my relatives. I have to consult my colleagues because I don't believe I can do good thing. I don't like being cornered, but at this point, mi usonga tu na ujinga yangu, whether I know it, if I don't know it, it's okay. If I respond in a childish manner, it's still okay because that is me. Mimi na ujinga yangu yote huyo ni mimi, and there's nothing, I'm not apologetic about it, by the way, at this point. So those of us who hate on ourselves just because we dislike one or two, three things about us, I send hugs to you. Mwanze kujipenda. Hey, the world is already bitter with everyone. So if you're also bitter with yourself, it's bad. I wouldn't want anybody to get to that point where you think you're not good enough, you think you don't exist. And some people are uplifted by your mere existence. Then you go sharing with your parents, you're sad and they're like, why? But we thought everything was working out well for you. Sasa wewe unajichukia kwa nini na venye wewe ni mrembo? I come to the end of this video. That's how I have managed to overcome self-hatred. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please support me by subscribing, commenting, and liking the video. Goodbye. Cheers.